You probably know Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn from their river adventures, pretend pirate plundering, and courtroom shenanigans. But what if I told you there were two more Tom and Huck stories, ones you've probably never read, because Mark Twain never finished them? That's right, Tom and Huck Among the Indians and Tom Sawyer's Conspiracy were both real stories Twain started writing, with wild ideas and fun plots. But for reasons we're still guessing at, he never finished or published them. So sit back and get ready to dig into the lost adventures of Tom and Huck. The unfinished story, Tom and Huck Among the Indians, picks up right after the end of the adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Tom and Huck have just helped Jim win his freedom, but they're not ready to settle down. Instead, they head west to explore Indian territory. But things go wrong fast. One of their companions they meet along the way is kidnapped by Indians, and the rescue mission pulls Tom and Huck into unfamiliar land filled with danger and uncertainty. There are battles, escapes, and moments of survival that push both boys farther than they've ever gone. After a few gripping chapters, Twain stopped writing. Why? Some historians think the tone got too dark, shifting from playful adventure to something more serious and grim. Others believe he simply wasn't happy with how it was going. Either way, he left it unfinished and never came back. Mark Twain was also well known for his dislike of another American writer, James Fenimore Cooper, the author of The Last of the Mohicans and other frontier tales. Twain famously wrote a scathing essay mocking Cooper's writing style, calling his plots ridiculous and his characters unrealistic. Tom and Huck Among the Indians may have started out as a parody of Cooper's wilderness adventures, full of scouts, kidnappings, and Indian territory drama. But Twain may have realized the story wasn't worth finishing as just a spoof. Once the parody faded, there wasn't much left to hold his interest. Twain would return to this spoofing idea later, though. Tom Sawyer Detective parodies the popular detective stories of the day, while Tom Sawyer Abroad is a send-up of wild travel adventure tales like Jules Verne's Around the World in 80 Days. Still, what remains of his work on Tom and Huck Among the Indians gives us a rare look at Tom and Huck facing a rougher, realer world, and shows where Twain might have taken them next. Twain's other abandoned sequel, Tom Sawyer's Conspiracy, is way more complete than the first. Twain wrote almost the whole thing, but it was never published in his lifetime, and it's not your average Tom and Huck prank story. Like Tom and Huck Among the Indians, this one gets real. Back in St. Petersburg, Tom Sawyer is bored again. No treasure hunts, no balloon rides, just quiet country life. So naturally, he decides to make things exciting by inventing a full-blown conspiracy. He starts spreading rumors that abolitionists, people trying to free slaves, are operating in secret right there in town. He even picks a target, a local enslaved man. Tom makes it look like a dramatic escape plan is unfolding, complete with signs, secret meetings, and whispers in the dark. In a town like St. Petersburg, before the Civil War, this kind of talk causes real panic. People start watching each other. Guns come out. Tensions rise. Huck, who's in on the plan, starts to feel like it's going too far. And then, everything explodes. A local man turns up dead. Suddenly, Tom's made-up story becomes way too real. Everyone blames the abolitionists. The town is in full freak-out mode, and Tom realizes he's in deep trouble. That's when two familiar faces show up, the Duke and the King, those lying, scamming con men from the adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Turns out they faked their deaths after being tarred and feathered and quietly made their way to St. Petersburg. Now, they're tied to the murder, and maybe, just maybe, they're involved in a real plot after all. Tom's fake conspiracy has collided with a real crime, and two of the slipperiest crooks he's ever met. With Huck by his side, Tom flips into detective mode. He has to solve the murder, prove who the real villains are, and clear the name of the innocent man being blamed, his and Huck's friend, Jim. All while facing the fallout of his own prank. The story is part mystery, part social commentary, and 100% classic Tom Sawyer chaos, with real danger and real consequences. But Twain ultimately abandoned it, most likely, historians believe, because the themes grew too dark, too politically charged, and too far from the playful tone readers expected of Tom and Huck. Even though Tom and Huck Among the Indians and Tom Sawyer's Conspiracy never made it to the bookshelf in Twain's lifetime, they show just how much adventure was left in these characters. Twain imagined them in all kinds of stories, survival tales, fake mysteries gone real, even face-offs with old enemies. They might not have made it into finished novels, but they still tell us something about growing up and learning that not all games are harmless. And who knows, maybe these unfinished stories are just new beginnings for the next generation of readers. For instance, the Duke and the King do show up again in Tom and Huck's Super Science Showcase adventures, just like they did in Tom Sawyer's Conspiracy. Because with Tom and Huck, the adventure never really ends. Want to check out the original Tom and Huck books? Get them free at the links below or at your local library. And for brand new, exciting adventures starring Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn, check out The Science Adventures of Tom and Huck, a new film and book series from Super Science Showcase.
You bet you are, Huck.
Tom! I'll see you Tom, you crook!
Trust me, Huck.
I ain't never seen no Tom Sawyer without a plan, sir.
Ain't nobody coming for you!
Side by side, it will always be Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn.